Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Quickly going over yesterday's picks. Only had two misses, and that was Sule over 2.5 and Savanier over 2.5. Sule was the lean and Savanier was an added play, but all the other ones hit. Stoger over 3 shots assisted hit. Bauman over 3 saves hit. Oyarzabal over 1.5 shots hit. Stoger over 2.5 shots hit, and both of the money lines hit. So overall yesterday went 6 for 2. They're pretty good. Hopefully we can keep that momentum going into a very large slate tomorrow. And I went through all the games, went through all the picks. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys the ones that I like the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into those. My first pick is in Spain La Liga. It is Pablo Gazzaniga, higher than 2.5 saves, playing away from home for Girona, going up against Palmas. He averaged a little over 3 saves in general overall in the season, so already over this mark. And he played him earlier. When he played him at home, he had 5. We just need him to get 3. And Girona at home allow 10 shots, but away from home they allow 16, so that's a big bump. And Palmas had 10 shots, exactly 10 shots when they played them away from home. So now they're playing them at home and Girona's playing away. They are, in my opinion, they'll probably have anywhere from 13 to 15 shots. So they already had 5 on target last time that he saved. So I just need him to get 3 this time. And he saves around 71.2% of shots on target that he faces. So that's just a good save percentage. And I think you're getting good value getting him at 2.5 saves. If he gets bumped to 3, I wouldn't take it because he would need that 4th. But I like him at 2.5 for him to get that 3rd save. My second pick is in England Premier League. I took him last time. I'm taking him again. It is Alejandro Garnacho, higher than 3 shots, playing at home for Manchester United, going up against Burnley. He averaged 3.38 shots per 90, and I said per 90 like last time because Rashford is still going to be hurt, so he's going to be playing on the left where he likes to shoot more often. He had 6 in the last game where I took him, in the 2 videos ago where I said to take him, and now he's playing against another weak defensive team in Burnley. Like I said, Rashford is still going to be hurt, so he's going to play on the left. He's going to be cutting inside, playing down the wing, and shooting against Burnley. Burnley allow 18.6 shots away from home, which is really, really high. And Burnley are weak against skillers and long shots. And Garnacho is a winger. He plays on the wing. He's a good skiller, and he likes to take long shots when he gets the opportunity. So that's just even better for him. And Burnley will be aggressive because they need to try to at least get a point or win because they're in the relegation zone and they don't want to be there. They want to stay in the Premier League. So I expect them to be more aggressive against a Man United team that hasn't been playing well lately. So that's a good opportunity for Garnacho to again go over 3 shots. My next pick is still in the England Premier League. It is Sean Longstaff, higher than 1.5 shots, playing for Newcastle, going up against Sheffield United. He averages 1.2 shots at home, so a little over 1, and we need him to get 2. But the reason why I like this pick is because he does well when he plays against weak defenses that allow a lot of shots. Sheffield allow 18.4 shots away, and when he plays against weak team, he goes over. Everton, he had 3. West Ham, he had 2. Blackburn, he had 4. Luton, he had 4. Sunderland, he had 3. And when he played him earlier in the season away, he had 2 against them, and we need him to get 2 again. And they're going up against a demoralized Sheffield United team that will get relegated. There's no possible way for them to stay in the league. So they really have no reason to play anymore. So Newcastle's going to want to put on the show for their home crowd. And Longstaff does good against teams that allow a lot of shots. So like Longstaff, higher than 1.5 shots. My next pick is still in the England Premier League. It is Mateus Cunha, higher than 0.5 goals and assists, playing for Wolves, going up against Luton Town. He has 7 goals and assists in 12 home games. So that's 60% of the games that he plays. And Luton are really weak against skillers, defending the counter attack and defending through balls. And they allow over 20 shots away from home. And Wolves like to play on the counter. And Cunha is a really good dribbler, which is, like I said, Luton is bad at them. And he's a counter attack threat. Luton will be weak defensively because they're another team like Burnley that I talked about earlier in the Man United game that are in that relegation zone. And they need to be aggressive and try to beat this Wolves side, or at least tie, to try to gain some hope in trying to stay in the Premier League. So they're going to be aggressive. It's going to give Wolves good counterattack opportunities, which is where Wolves like to play anyways, and where Cunha likes to play as well. So I just think it's a good opportunity for Cunha to get a goal or an assist. My next pick is in the other side for Luton. It is Thomas Kaminski, higher than 3 saves. I would take the hit 3.5 because he will need 4 regardless. But at 3, I like the value. He averages 3.88 saves, so he averages almost 4. And he's over this mark in 4 out of 5 away games. They're going to rely on him not to concede. Like I said, Luton's going to be aggressive, so they're going to be vulnerable to that counter attack. So Wolves are going to have a lot of shots, and it's going to be up to Kaminsky to get those saves. Wolves average 4.2 shots on target from 11 shots. And like I said, Luton allow 20. And if Wolves already average 4.2 shots on target from just 11 shots, I expect them to get 15 to 18. So that's at least 2 more shots on target. And I expect Kaminsky to at least save 3 of them. We need 4 from him, which I think he will. And I just think that there's a good value for Kaminsky to go higher than 3 saves. My next pick is still in the England Premier League. It is James Tarkowski, higher than 0.5 shots, playing at home for Everton, going up against Brentford. He averages 0.7 shots at home, so a little over 0.5. We just need him to get 1. He's taken 23 shots in the Premier League, and 21 out of those 23 have came from either a set piece or from corners, because he's a large and tall dude who is good in the air, and he is one of their main targets when it comes to who they're aiming for off of those corners and set pieces. He had 2 when he played him earlier in the season away from home. We just need him to get 1, and both of them were from corners. So like I said, Everton are look for him when they take those, and Everton are projected to have around 6 corners. And whenever Everton had those, when Tarkowski had those 2 shots against Brentford, they only had 4 corners. So if they're projected to have 6, I would like Tarkowski to at least be on the end of one of them. And they need to win to pretty much be safe from relegation, so they can't slack off. If they start losing, it's a good chance that they'll be relegated. So they can't slack off. They need to be aggressive against a Brentford side that allow a lot of shots. They might be good in the attack, but they're not good in defense. So I like James Tarkowski to go higher than 0.5 shots. My next pick, it is Petrovic, higher than 1.5 goals allowed, playing away from home for Chelsea, going up against Villa. On Sportsbook, this was the equivalent of taking Aston Villa over 1.5 goals. Same thing. We just need Villa to score 2 against him. Villa average over 2 goals when they play at home, and Chelsea average exactly 2 goals against them away from home. Chelsea have allowed 2 or more goals in 9 out of their last 10 games. They are not good defensively, and Villa need to win to stay in top 4. They're currently in top 4, but Tottenham are 2 games behind them. And let's say that Tottenham play those 2 games and they win both of them, they'd be tied on points. So Villa need this win to ensure that they can stay in the top 4. And Chelsea is a weak defensive team, so I expect them to score. I expect this to be a higher scoring game. And Villa have gone over this mark in their last 5 home games, so over in 5 out of 5. So I think this is a good mark for Villa, a good attacking team that have Ollie Watkins, Diaby, Leon Bailey, Douglas Luiz. They have a good attack, and I like them to go and score 2 against a weak Chelsea side. I want to give a shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito, link to the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. I also have my Fliff and my Cashapp linked in the description. If you want to use those, anybody who uses any of those codes, it is really much appreciated. Fliff is where I send my moneyline plays, where I make my moneyline plays. You can't get those on Underdog and Prize Picks because they don't offer those. So when I'm about to give you guys my money lines, and if you want to tell me I use Fliff, you can use my code linked in the description. All the games for tomorrow are all either heavily juiced, or maybe the teams don't have much to play for, or just there's plays that I just don't like. So I found 2 that if you put together, you'll make a plus money slip, which is ultimately what I want to give you guys. So I'm just going to get straight into those. They're both in the German Bundesliga. My first one is the Leverkusen money line, playing at home, going up against Stuttgart. They have won 13 out of their 15 home games, and the 2 that they didn't win, they drew. But I think they'll win against Stuttgart. They played them already in the season back in February at home for the German Cup, or their German Cup that they play for, the DFB Pokal, and they beat them 3-2. So they already beat them before, and when they played them away, they tied. So they're not going to lose. They might draw, but it's whether they win, and I think they will. They're still undefeated. They've only conceded 8 goals in 15 home games that they've played in the league. And they need to be informed. They can't afford to lose. 1, so they can keep their unbeaten streak, and 2, they need to be more. They can't be demoralized, and they need to be in good form. Next week they play the semifinal against AS Roma, a good defensive Italian team. So there's just a good game for them to get in shape. And Stuttgart, in their 15 away games, they either win or they lose. They have not drawn a single game. They've won 9 and they've lost 6. And I don't think they're winning against this Leverkusen team, a really, really good Leverkusen team. So I like their Leverkusen money line against Stuttgart. And the second pick that I found that I like to make this a plus money play, it is the Freiburg win or draw against Wolfsburg. I took Freiburg win or draw, I believe 2 videos ago, and they came through for me, and I'm taking them again. They are over this mark, which when I mean over, they haven't lost, which is what we need them to do in 10 out of 15 home games. And while Wolfsburg have only won 3 away games, so they're under this mark in 12 out of 15 games, and they need to win to have a chance again to get in those top 6 spots and want to play European football. You can take their win if you want to. You can get that at plus money. Like last time, I'm afraid it's going to be a draw, and I was right about that last time because it ended in a draw. But I like the win the draw because it's just safer, and you can get it at plus, make the slip plus money. And Wolfsburg essentially is just really weak in the attack. In those 15 games, it's only scored 14 goals. So they might get 1. I just don't think they score 2. And I believe that Freiburg, if anything, can outscore Wolfsburg. But like I said, it's just a safe to just take the Freiburg win or draw. If you want to, you can take those 2 as a separate slip, and then you can do just Freiburg win on a separate slip because you can get that at plus money. We're just basically relying that Freiburg won't lose. So those are my 2 money line plays for you guys. And like last video, if I have added plays that I like later on in the day or maybe later tonight, I put them in the YouTube description. That's what I did with, I added 3 extra in the last video. So make sure to go back, and if there's any more plays that I'll add, I'm gonna add them there. So make sure to check that out. Thank you everybody for watching the video. We did pretty good yesterday, and hopefully we can carry that momentum going into the big slate tomorrow. Hopefully you all guys have a good night, and we can cash out tomorrow and we can all make some money.